Welcome to Marriott MBA Today. I'm your host, Allison Day, and we have with us in the studio the Student Recruiting Manager for the MBA program at BYU, Julianne Gray. Julianne, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and the goals that you have for the MBA program?
Yeah, so I'm actually a 2009 graduate of the program. I've been spent the last 5 years working for corporate Walmart in marketing in a variety of roles, and just recently came back to take this position working for the MBA program, and it's been a great experience to be back and connected with the program and the students again. Had a fantastic 5 years at Walmart, and I think it gives me a little, some good perspective having done the MBA, gone out and worked, and then come back and be reconnected. But that has actually helped me create what my goals are for the program, which is that I want to make sure that we're getting the right mix of students and having a diverse group of students, but also making sure that we have qualified students as well. So that's what I'm here to do.
Great. If I were a prospective student and I asked you, how do I apply to the program? What would you tell me?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that we look at. We're evaluating every application and every applicant that comes in as a total package. So we're looking not at reasons to not admit you, we're looking for reasons to admit you, but we're looking at every piece that you're submitting, which is why we have you submit so many different pieces. So the kind of three main ones are the GMAT. That is a test that every MBA student must tackle in order to get into their MBA program, and it's a challenging test, but it's also something that's doable. And so we look at your GMAT score. We're also looking at your work experience. So a lot of MBA programs out there, like BYU, require work experience, and that's because you bring with it context and the ability to discuss what you've learned from working for a few years in class. So it makes for a more enriching classroom experience, but it also means that when you go to interview, you have actual things to talk about. And so it makes your career opportunities that much better when you bring that work experience in with you. So that's a key piece that we're looking at. Another piece is your undergraduate GPA. So it is an academically rigorous program, and we want to make sure that everyone that's in the program is up to the challenge, and so that's a key piece. There's also just a few other things that we include in the application that help us get to know you, which is we require a statement of intent or your essay, and that helps us understand you, your story, your path, your goal, your focus, those different elements within that essay. And then 3 letters of recommendation, and that's our opportunity to hear from the people who've worked directly with you, hear about your leadership experience, and the ability to work well with others, to collaborate, and to be successful in a team environment, because that's a big deal within our MBA program. And so all of those pieces together, when you submit your application, form a picture for us to be able to evaluate you and make sure that you're going to be a good fit for the MBA program here at BYU.
Great. So say I want my application to just be amazing and I want to hit that ball out of the park. Any tips you could share with me?
Yeah, so I think the biggest one is to study hard for that GMAT. It's a standardized test, and no matter what other standardized tests you've taken, it's a hard one. And so make sure you put in the time to study hard and get a really good GMAT score. When you can score really well on the GMAT, it can smooth over any other things that you may have a concern for. However, keep in mind the GMAT won't get you in, but it could keep you out. And so taking that test seriously and studying is something that every person who wants to really make a good application should do. The second piece is to get some really good work experience. If you're still an undergraduate and you're trying to decide what the next step is, find a good job that's going to give you some good work experience. If you're already out there working, look for opportunities in your current job to take on additional responsibility and work on some new projects, because that's the information that you're going to be sharing in interviews, and that's what you're going to be hired on after the MBA based on your experience before the MBA. So when we're evaluating you for the MBA, we're evaluating you as if you're a job applicant in some ways, and so we want to hear what you did while you were there while you were there working at that at your job, and see that you progressed and got better, and what you did during that time. A few other things is that we want to hear your individual story. So every person has a story to tell, whether it's that you've been working for the last 5 years and you've decided, like me, when I decided to come back and get the MBA, that I wanted to round out my skill set. It could be that you started a business and it didn't do very well, and so now you're back to learn, to find out what you can do better the next time you start a company. So we're really looking for you to tell us all the different pieces that we can understand so that we can understand who you are and what you're going to bring to the MBA program. A great example of that is when I was in the program, I had a classmate who was a film major in undergrad, and she actually had been working on films for the few years, and so that has nothing to do with business in some ways, but there are a lot of transferable skills that she was able to bring with her, and she actually works in human resources now for a company in California and loves her job and does a great job. But that was a great when she came into the program, she had a unique story that brings some diversity of experience and perspective, and that's what we're looking for in applicants in our program.
So just be yourself, and being unique is great.
Exactly, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your insights and some of your tips and tricks, and thank you for joining us today on Marriott MBA Today.